Before this video starts, I forgot to mention this in the beginning where I come in and stuff, but just want to say I suggest watching, just you don't have to necessarily see anything, just listen throughout I would suggest listening to this if you're working or something, just doing work, or I don't know. That's what I suggest doing. If you're doing something, or just bored, want to listen this is kind of like a podcast video. So yeah, just want to tell you that I'm out. Hello, everybody. The God is here, and as I promised, I'm finally doing the Happy Days documentary. Yes, I said Canadian Fonzie during the video, but or the announcements video, but I decided to do the whole Happy Days, and I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. As you can see, it's windy out, but can you tell? No, because this microphone's so sick. But yeah, I wish I could get a beautiful background, but I wanted to do the woods. But as you can see, when I get back there, I'm a shadow basically, so that's not going to happen. So yeah, today's the Canadian Fonzie, Happy Days documentary. So yeah, we'll start with that in 30 seconds. Basically, it's a history of it. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so to start off, technically Richie is my first character. When I started to, if you didn't know, this channel wasn't as recent as you think it would be. It says a couple months ago, but really, some of you may know the history of it. A year ago, I started the channel. The first video I ever made was the story of Ron Araki, and who associates with the story of Ron Araki? Richie the Sea. Now, technically, then he wasn't really a character, really, as he is now. But Richie's he wasn't in character, as I said. It was just me, just me in the coat, and inside, he wasn't really supposed to be a character. He was just supposed to be me and stuff. And then afterwards, I created my first character. The second video I made, Canadian Fonzie Gets Gold, which I'll tell you the origins of Canadian Fonzie. Basically, Canadian Fonzie, I made him. I can't remember exactly how I made him, but I know it was a combination. I was getting really into the Fonz then, and I watched it, and I was really getting to have this show called How I Met Your Mother, and figuring out the Fonz. And then I heard Canadian. They're always making fun of Canada on there, so I want to, and I know the Canadians say a lot and stuff, and it kind of goes with the Fonz, correlates with the Fonz. He says a, so correlate them two together, and Canadian Fonzie was born. Fun fact. So yeah, that's how Canadian Fonzie was born, basically, and I made a whole joke about it. Also, the whole basketball thing, fun fact, I saw some kid, doing this stupid, video of, it was horrible, him, just running around doing this basketball thing. So, that's what it's based off. Other than now that, Canadian Fonzie's, making fun of Richie for, doing a granny toss, but yeah. That's how basically Canadian Fonzie was born. It was simple. It was my voice. I like the concept of it. I'm glad I made the video, but then some things now later down the line while I was still making videos, I know something it was not going to work. So we'll talk about that now. Okay, so timeline of Happy Days was of course, I started to do a lot of Canadian Fonzie was my main. I can't remember what you call it, but my main, merchandise, basically. He's my, I've always done Canadian. You can see, in the older, well, you can't see because I hit private all videos. But as you can see, the older Canadian Fonzie, there's a bunch of Canadian Fonzie videos. Canadian Fonzie after another Canadian Fonzie. And then I did the story of Ron Araki here and there, but that's really it. I did mostly Canadian Fonzie. And by the way, this was before Saturday Morning Live, as you can see. This is not the history of Saturday Morning Live, but the Saturday Morning Live actually is actually recent. That's the recent channel. I recently made Saturday Morning Live, but actually I was using Happy Days as a Saturday. I wanted to do Saturday Morning Live on another channel. I wanted to make another channel, but Saturday Morning Live was my channel. On Happy Days, it was basically a Saturday Morning Live too sometimes because it creates Stupid Man, but we're getting too far. But yeah, basically Canadian Fonzie's character was my voice basically. But I started to get away from that. How's the boot? Or I didn't do the accent. Then I said, "How's the boot, eh?" I didn't do the wrong spot. I said, "How's the boot, eh?" And then I stopped doing that. I started to go, "Hey, Canadian Fonzie's back!" that same voice, as some of you may remember it. That's how I used to do voice. And Richie was very bland, and well, you know, I didn't even call him Richie then until like through the studios. But Richie, he's just my voice and saying, um, "Hey there." So, he didn't really have an intro like it is now. Hey, guys and cats and submarine watchers. It's way more interesting, more pumped. I love that intro. But so yeah, as things started to go down line, it wasn't really. It was people really just wanted to make fun of me at this point. I mean, it sucked. Really, I mean, Kenny Fonzie was okay. It was a fad. It started to go away at this point, and then I started thinking about doing the movies, but also do like other things too, like Stupid Man stuff. Then eventually, like it started to die down. I didn't post as often, and that's why it's not as successful as it is today. Like it wasn't like I didn't really get into it as I am in now, of course, but. So now let's talk about the movie / the worst probably project I've ever done. Kenny Fonzie do the studios. I don't even know what motivated me to do Kenny Fonzie do. I can't even remember. I just wanted to do a movie or something like that. So yeah, it took a while. It took months to do. Months with no uploads for a bit. It took a while. If I made today, it would have been like that now. Because now it's so much easier for me to figure out editing and stuff. It was, well, actually, I'm glad to do that. I kind of glad I made do this, or Kenny Fonzie do the studios. But as you can see, it's not happy. I called the thing Happy Days, but really it's about. I should have called it Kenny Fonzie for gosh sakes. But now it's Happy Days. It's more. I try to get to more like the title, but it's just. Kenny Fonzie was the main star, so yeah. Of course, I had to make a movie about him, but it took a while to do, and it took months, and decline. And then when I finally made do the studios, which is horrible because I didn't have the microphone, and it's very windy out. This is the time of this is basically if I didn't have the microphone right now, this is what do the studios would sound like. Wind. It was horrible. Do the studios was horribly made, and oh yeah, I forgot to introduce about Arnold and Barney. Arnold and Barney was on Happy Days before. I have introduced them. Actually, they used directors, or Barney's hat, or I mean Arnold's hat was used for. It was very complicated. I said, oh, or I didn't do the. They weren't as good as they are today, Arnold and Barney. But Arnold, was some idiot. I based him off the Vulture. The Vulture from Looney Tunes. Mother told me to give me some, or I said, Barney told me to give me some dinner, in that voice, and Barney's was the same. Well, God bless Arnold. Actually, I did that exact same voice too, but Barney was more serious. I didn't like it. It's not as comedic as it is today. Like, God bless. Like this one, this Barney was horrible. Anyway, well, God bless Arnold. Stop that right now. He was more of a Tom Anderson kind of series, which I didn't like. So now we got our own today. Arnold and Barney's more almost. I just wanted to create that concept, but back to the studios, it was horrible. When you don't constantly upload, that's why I figured out about Director's Cut. Director's Cut saved me, but we'll get further than that. But when you don't upload that much, Do Studios did not do well. It had 16 views. I think 18 now, but for a movie, that's not good. It was 40 minutes long. It was horrible. And I introduced a character named Brandon, which is apparently I made that character up, so there'd be a villain to that Kenny Fonzie made fun of. So yeah, he was the main villain of it all. Is it basically Kenny Fonzie Do Studios was is now I think I'm going to make a Arnold and Barney movie. Yes, Arnold and Barney's Excellent Adventure. It's not, of course, the exact same storyline. Well, I think it was okay storyline. I think I'm going to interpret the delivery box thing, because in Do the Studios, like, they had the deliver box, and that's when Director was introduced. So I think I'm happy with that. Like, he didn't have he did have the director's voice. Like, I need you to deliver this to the Mexican post office. And yes, I did a Mexican post office. I don't know why. I just chose Mexican post office for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, then Do the Studios happened and it sucked, and yeah. So now, let's talk about the finale of everything. I made, as I, what I thought back then was it didn't do so well because it was long. Which, yeah, I can see that, but then again, I didn't post as often, so people weren't interested, you know. So, and the updates were horrible. It's not like it is today, where actually I'm technically a character. I'm the god. Well, I can say that because I'm a fourth wall breaker. So yeah, I have to, because Canadian Fonzie was me basically. I'm the god. It was. I like playing a character where it makes sense. So yeah, let's talk about Canadian Fonzie termination / the end of this what I call the Canadian Fonzie / fake Fonzie era. So I made actually two series: Canadian Fonzie Termination and what was it the Richie and Raw documentary, and this was the finale of the horribleness, which we are very close to where we are today with the Happy Days nowadays. But over the summertime, I finally made Canadian Fonzie Termination, which actually at the end I wasn't actually playing when I first made it, but actually now when I get it later, now I thought, actually, you know, I might as well want to terminate Canadian Fonzie, at least this one. So I kind of had a plan down the line. I wanted to get rid of, now I started wanting to get rid of these characters and actually do something better like the Canadian Fonzie we have today. So Canadian Fonzie Termination was basically Brandon wanted revenge and he teamed up with he apparently manipulated Arnold and Barney, and now they attacked the director and Canadian Fonzie. They're after Canadian Fonzie. And Richie and Ronald documentary. Richie will finally meet Ronald. It's a whole thing. It's then I did this whole emotional thing. It was horrible for Richie and Ronald. Like I wanted to put some more emotion in there, but it was not good at all. It was not, you know. Richie and Ronald, and it's just sucked. Like Richie, Ronald. It was so stupid. Their relationship, like, you know, the storyline of that. But it was just. I promise you, it won't be as that bad. And when I introduced like Ronald's character and Richie, how they interact. But yeah, that was horrible. So I made 2 series, and at the end. End of Termination, I kind of Brandon was done for. Apparently, I did a post-credit scene where Brandon actually escaped, and then Kenny Fonzie was fired from director, and director is actually still the same character I have today. Actually, director's character was introduced in Saturday Morning Live. Asked you what's it like being a director video I made, and Saturday Morning Live actually existed then. Technically, so it was in Happy Days, but actually the idea of Saturday Morning Live was then, so yeah, that was pretty cool. So director's character was my voice again. Common thing, but it's Kenny Fonzie was fired, got all mad and stuff, and then Richie's character, Richie and Rod, apparently they trade bodies, and now like there's another Brandon, like an actual Terminator Brandon too. So and he like this weird thing I made up where it was very confusing. Like they switch body, like another parallel universe. Richie and Ronald, you know, today switch bodies with this universe, and then that's how that was born. So that's basically it for Termination. Termination was done. Now, I'm going to, before I tell you now today's, modern Happy Days, I'm going to tell you, actually, I got a plan for this. This was not a waste of my time for this older series. So, I'm going to talk to you about my plan. So, actually, if you ever seen my TikTok accounts, Saturday Morning Live and True Happy Days. The True Happy Days is actually... Let's just say I kept that concept alive. Why? Because I have a good idea. I have a good plan. I'm going to use this old character because, by the way, I'm making it where this modern Happy Days, these are 2 different types of characters. Like Canadian Fonzie from a year ago is not the same Canadian Fonzie as, it's booty, like my redis. So the better quality. So I'm going to have like, different, as you can see if you watch the thank you video where I tease the True Happy Days like their own unique looks. So at the end of it, they're going to have a fight, And I was thinking I put also Canadian Fonzie versus fake Fonzie. Let's just say I had director been that in there because that wouldn't make sense if he was because Fake Fonzie is which I'm going to call the true Happy Days. Is the cast members is he's not actual cast members to him, so so I just technically for canon's sake, so it's I was thinking of playing that during the anniversary of Canadian Fonzie when I first ever made him in February, which is when the concept of Canadian Fonzie was born, and it would make sense to do it when he was first ever introduced in February, to do a fake Fonzie versus Canadian Fonzie. So because that's him, of course, fake Fonzie. That's when fake Fonzie was born. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So that'll be good, and hopefully at the end of it all, I have every editing tools ready for the finale, which the finale should be sick. I should have like characters like the fake Fonzie flying around and stuff. It should be sick with the green screen. The green screen is going to be sick, but right now I have the red screen, but it will soon be a green screen, not red screen, because red screen doesn't really interpret that well. As you can see, there's a red outline first off, and second, like there's like little errors, like it shows like still red because it's all wrinkly and stuff. I need a proper green screen, which I'll hopefully get that soon. But yeah, that's basically my plan. These guys are villains now, basically. I like this idea. So you can kind of get a taste of it with. I think there's like the first ever video, not the first. I don't know, where I explain like the events after termination. So yeah, go watch that on my TikTok accounts, the True Happy Days and Saturday Morning Live. So now let's talk about modern Happy Days. Good old modern Happy Days. So after termination, I created the masterpieces. Okay, I wanted these to be pure masterpieces. It took me a while to figure out how I'm going to make Canadian Fonzie, and thankfully I've spent that time well and actually did a good idea where I want to master these characters. So it took a while to research on like first off Richie's character. How am I going to do it? I know Richie's voice is like high pitch and stuff, so I started doing that, and then I wanted to do that line he said. I don't know how I introduced him. Then I thought when I saw these commercials on BTV where he started saying his iconic line, hey, guys and gals and submarine watchers, it's me, from Happy Days, and he doesn't say wow, and then I finally created the masterpiece of the intro. Hey, guys and gals and submarine watchers, it's me, it's Richie the Sea, coming at you live from Happy Days with live audience, live dedications, and live records. I'll come at you, Power of Radio. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill, I found you. Now I did the wrong, so that I can't. That was actually the first thing I was able to clip. But I wanted to put Canadian Fonzie first, of course. But yeah, Canadian Fonzie I wanted to get the voice right, so I started to figure out like it was very difficult for me to think how am I supposed to do like his voice. Because his voice is I wanted to do a different voice than just this. Like, how's the boot, like my runners? That wasn't as interpret well as my new Canadian Fonzie voice, where I was thinking either do Canadian voice or, a Fonzie. I started to figure out the Fonzie's voice. I don't know if it's exactly as the Fonzie's voice, but I tried my best now. So now it's, how's the boot, like my runners? So yeah. Create that line and I actually create a whole script for this, and I wanted this to be very perfect, and it turned out to be. But I didn't have the microphone, of course. So what I did was I know there's a certain app where I can turn up the audio, so I did that, and that's why Canadian Fonzie's voice is so loud in that video. So yeah, it turned out perfectly, so good. And then I saw Richie on Happy Days. He actually did play basketball on Happy Days, and he did a granny toss, which is perfect because now it's the whole thing about the granny. It turned out so perfect. Like Richie did granny toss, so I'm gonna show him how to do a real shoot. Or, I can't remember, but I think I've done it well. So now And now let's talk about director's cut. Okay, good old director's cut. Finally, I thought of doing it while after termination, like maybe I should do like that director and then use him for like like make a whole show for him where he's like he reviews stuff or something about music because people really make me irritating me about rednecks and stuff and country music. People really irritate me that I don't like country music. No, I like rock. Rock is definitely amazing. Like my logos and stuff, like the God logo, that's Metallica. You think country music stars have their own logos? No, they're a band. Metallica's awesome. Rock's awesome. So yeah, I want to interpret that. So I did create director's cut, just because those people made me mad, and I created the whole. I had the voice down already, and had the look down already, and difficulty of how I'm going to do it. And then I created the where I show the video up here, and then review it, and it's unprofessional stuff. Actually, I still have I don't know if I should do videos on this yet, but I think I still have the first shot when I did the first ever director's cut. That's one, of course, that's uploaded, but like another one that was horrible. Like I had like wired earbuds instead of the AirPods I had. Yeah, if you want to see the prototype, maybe I'll do a video on that. The prototype of I have the the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody, and of course Luke Bryan. So those prototypes. So yeah, if I want, I can do a video on that. But I never realized how genius, and I figured what took me a while was the music, and I finally figured out like Barney's intro from Barney's playbook from How I Met Your Mother, the Turkish March. So yeah, that was perfect. So I figured out I can do Turkish March, and it turned out so well. Like, I love doing director's character. Like, it was a little hard my voice for the first part, but now I'm starting to. Now it's like I'm so good at it. Like I can speak like this if I want to. Like, hey, welcome to director's cut. Like I can maintain the yelling, and also like it motivates me. I love doing director's voice. Like I said in the versus the wind, I really love doing director's cut. It removes the negativity I have with people, and people really sometimes irritate me when I have a lot of negative thoughts about them. But yeah, I love doing director's cut. Like, hey, welcome to director's cut, and country music sucks. Luke Bryan sucks. So yeah, I love doing director's voice, and now I'm going to tell you what's how genius and why Happy Days wouldn't be as it is today without director's cut. So the genius of director's cut that I didn't even think about. Director's cut is without director's cut, the channel wouldn't be as it is today. But director's cut saved me. Why? Because first off, I can constantly upload. Because it's easy to do, and yeah, I didn't even think about it when I was making it. And second, the audience can make the video too. Technically, the audience can be involved because I can they can give suggestions, and I'll do it because that's what I love about director's cut. Like people, I can just review it real fast, and then if I make it like a longer project, say like the interview. When I was making the interview, it was a little longer, so I made director's cut. Like a director's cut in there, and people were still attached. Like people are still attached now. If I didn't have director's cut, I would be screwed because constant upload, people are going to watch it, and it's just perfect. I love it, and then people can see like these smaller projects. So it's like perfect. Like I can make a couple director's cut, and then when I have the project down, and then like switch it up a bunch. And the thing about director's cut, it'll never get old because I can always switch up the topic. Like I have top topics, like things that you suggest, what I call it, trash or pass, or the good, the bad, and the ugly, the good old series. So yeah, that's why director cut's so genius, and I noticed why that's why the fake Fonzie trilogy like there wasn't as many views as there is today. Like there's no constant upload. Actually, there was months where I didn't upload. Yes, months where I didn't upload. Think about that. So yeah, and that's why Saturday Morning Live's not doing so well. It's not constantly upload, which I'm sorry about that. But I will make a Beavis and Butthead spinoff and Nerd Alert. So yeah, let's get to the finale. So yeah, overall, that is the history of Happy Days. It's a real long history too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I finally done. It feels so good to finally do this. Is an easy video to make too, but yeah, it's real crazy how far we went. Like 2 years ago or something. Now it is. I don't even know how long it was, but I think it started 2021 or 2020. I think it seems like more like 2021. It's so crazy how far this channel went. Like there's a real history here. Hopefully, and Saturday Morning Live is new, so hopefully there will be a good. I'm hope it's going to be. I promise it's going to be a good history on that. Things like the microphone. Isn't this sweet? The microphone is saving me. So, and now I can focus more on winter time because now I can film outside like right now. And actually, I noticed when watching the previous clips, I kind of hear the wind just a little bit, but that's not bad really. As long as you can hear my voice, everything is fine. It says it reduces wind, doesn't mean it kills the wind like it. Well, it said that in the director's cut, but you know what I mean. You can hear my voice still. That's all that matters. It's it's loud and you can barely hear the wind. It's so good. So yeah, that's the history of Happy Days. And I'm just going to tell you real quick, the improvements I made. So now I'm going to get. Right now I'm using a red screen. Of course, the microphone I'm using, but I'm using a red screen, which acts like a green screen, but it's temporary. Red screens are real difficult to use because I have to stretch out far. So it's a hassle to set up. First off, you saw it in the end of the director's versus the wind, where I'm there, and yeah, red screen's just horrible. So hopefully I'll get a green screen, like an actual green screen, like a built green screen, and yeah, that'll be interesting to do. Like I can do like I said, I can be flying basically like up there. I can have like fake Fonzie fly up there, and I can this will be good for Stupid Man too. I can also do like two people at the same time kind of thing. You know how I used to do. The line always is always affecting the sometimes like you can see the line sometimes, which sucks, but yeah, I can if I do the green screen, it wouldn't really matter. It'll give off that illusion. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Promise you, Happy Days will be great. So yeah, that's all, folks.